Hey guys, what's up, and welcome to the Laser Source podcast. We got a great episode for you today. If you can't tell, my voice is cracking. I'm a bit under the weather, but we are joined by two very special guests. We got Mark Collier, is that right? Collier,
Yep, that's it.
from Big Blue Laser Designs, and Will, the crazy laser dad, Will Louie, with
What's
us
up?
in the studio today. We've got some pretty cool stuff to talk about. First, we're going to get to know these guys. I definitely want to know about the resources that you guys have to offer the community, but I also want to talk about the next level laser conference. This is honestly like a week ago was the first I'd actually heard about it. Is this the first year, or has it been going on for a while? Three.
Our third.
That's nuts, dude.
Whoa.
I need to get out to that. It's in the summer, right?
Yes.
It's in the summer. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to let Michael ask more questions about that. Michael's here, Mr. Mullins from Laser Engraving 911. What's up, man?
What's up, everybody?
And Michael's going to be asking a lot of my questions for me tonight, so you guys don't have to listen to my voice crack for an hour, but I definitely don't want to miss the show. So I'm here. I'll be hanging out in chat, and I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say. So thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show today. I really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Get better, Alex.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Well, yeah. So thanks for throwing me under the bus here, Alex. Appreciate that.
Anytime, literally.
But
anytime.
hey, it has to do with lasers, and so I think I could figure some things out here. Mark and Will, this is my first time meeting you guys, and I took a look at some of your Facebook groups and YouTube channels. Mostly your Facebook group. Seems like you guys are doing a lot of stuff there, and your website's very, very, very cool stuff you got going on. Boyce, what's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Matt, the fancy camera.
How we doing, sir? Oh, so fancy.
So-
It gets close, it gets pretty.
So let's start with you, Matt. What's good in your world?
I was literally just talking to Will and Mark before you guys got here about Valentine's Day hitting. You know, it's dropping. People want cups. I just made 50 of them for a company that was kind of Valentine's Day themed around their logo. So it was pretty, actually kind of neat thing. I have none left. Like they literally, I bought 3 mess up cups just in case, whatever.
Mhm.
Literally need every one of them because just hiccups and weird things happening. Whatever. And so they were just like, oh, these are great, fast turnaround because of the CO2 Galvo back here. Love that thing. And then I actually was doing these. This is a cool thing. If people want to look at them, I left it here. I have a couple extra. Here we go. So IKEA has these little tiny baskets. If you're looking for a really cheap, quick turnaround, especially on a CO2 Galvo, or if you've got a cool epilogue like Michael does, this is these turn into little crates, right? And basically I make them and you can personalize them. They cost like $6.99 and you can sell them for like 15 or 20 bucks, where you put on there like the boyfriend and the girlfriend's name, their date, whatever. And that's it. So I basically make like a quick 15, 20 bucks off those. And I think I made about 10 of those this past couple of weeks. So not a ton of them.
Where are you selling those at? Like
Literally word of
marketing?
mouth. I used to teach high school, so all the students know how to email me because they know my website. And so I just got emails that are like, Mr. B, I need something cheap and I need something good that makes it look like I care. And I'm like, I got you, bro. And so like literally
I don't really care, but I just want to look.
And that's where like, for a flat 20 bucks, word got around and they basically were like, hey, Mr. B can help you out, man. Like just there you go. And so a friend of mine who's a teacher there, I actually had to take a couple of trophies to him. And like, I basically just dropped them off with him and I'm like, hey, y'all go see Mr. A. Because like one of my good buddies is Mr. A. I'm Mr. B. There you go. And so, so that's what I've been working on. I got a couple of videos coming out for the channel. It'll be pretty sweet. So if you've been interested in learning more about CO2 Galvo, that's already filmed. It's done. Just needs to get edited and that'll get dropped pretty soon. So
nice.
Mark,
what's good in your world, man?
Man,
What's new with you today?
Yeah,
first of all, go blue.
Man, heck yeah, go blue, man. Absolutely. Life is good, man. We just had an open house here at my warehouse this last weekend, which was cool. I moved into here about back in August, and I'd love to show you guys what it looks like sometime, but we set it up primarily to be able to host different classes for people and just have hangouts for local folks. And we've got about 230 people in the Oklahoma Laser user group where I live. And so we invited everybody just to come and hang out. We had probably 40 or 50 people here on Saturday just hanging out for a couple hours. So that was really great.
Awesome.
But now I'm cleaning up after the party. So still kind of a mess.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's Will, right?
Will.
What's new, man? And I'm just so you know, I'm going to circle back and we'll do a little intro with Mark and Will. I'm just trying to check in with everybody right now.
Going well, you know, still recovering a little bit from Sunday, the NFC Championship game as a Lions fan. I was there in person, so that was a little tough. Still reeling, you know, that first half was amazing, and second half, not so much. Not so much. So still collecting myself from that and just having a good time here. I just set up this kind of recording studio for some of my Facebook Lives. You know, upgraded the cameras and some of the lights here because I was just doing them on my computer and thought I need to up the game just a little bit. So I have a couple warehouses here, similar to like what Mark has, just a little bigger, where I have one with all my blanks and the other one where I do different classes, meetups. We have a big local group here. We meet once a quarter practically, and we just kind of hang out, talk lasers, talk shop, check out the fun tools that everyone has. And I tend to collect a bunch of different lasers here. So I have 12 of them in my little warehouse here that we just mess around with. So it's a lot of fun.
And you're in San Fran, right?
I'm in Sacramento.
Sacramento. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like 10 minutes away from Light Object. I was just over there last week and got to meet Marco over there. So it was pretty cool. I didn't know that they were in my backyard. And they've been here for like 17 years.
Yeah, he's got some fun stuff there for sure.
Yeah.
By the way, real quick, shout out the graduation crate. So if you guys don't know Alicia Pate over from the Laser Lounge, literally she's the one who gave me the idea for those crates a long time ago, and she actually is in the chat. So hey, Alicia. But yeah, so the graduation crates are like the really big ones, and they actually have. So if you've never gone to IKEA, again, maybe that's something that can help some of you guys out. The smaller ones are way cheaper, and it's which makes it better for the high school kids to fill because it's cheaper to fill. So just heads up. But yeah,
man, IKEA, dude, that's the place. If you're just getting into lasers and you have an IKEA nearby and you just got your machine and you're like, what should I engrave? Just go down to that downstairs level and just start putting your stuff in the cart and bring it home and just see what you can do with it. Like, even if you don't have a plan, because it's a great way to test on tons of substrates, or Goodwill. You know, you could go to a Goodwill and grab stuff off the shelf too.
That's why I'm jealous of, like, you're dead on, man. I'm jealous. Like, you've got Will down here who's literally, they have like blank get-togethers. Like, that'd be awesome. Like, how cool would that be? Like, so if you don't have a Will next to you or you don't have a Mark next to you, IKEA.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Boys, what's new?
IKEA is dangerous. IKEA is a dangerous place as a laser engraver. When I used to go there before just for furniture, and now I got the lasers, and I'm like, I could laser the store.
I bought a set of cutlery because I could. I was like, I'm going to grab these.
Yep.
That's how Costco is for me, man. I get these giant cutting boards. I got these big old fuckers, maybe like 38 inches long.
Meat flabbers.
Pardonnez-moi. But yeah, Costco's cool too.
Yeah,
they
have
bet
those really long
break
ones.
the 15-minute mark. You didn't.
Nope.
When Michael and I were at Light Object, we did pretty well at Big Lots. It wasn't amazing, but we did pretty. We had a vlog episode about that. It was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the Big Lots episode.
All right. Anyways,
but I was gonna say, I just secured our first little. I'm doing one of your speakers here at your convention is going to be Dawn Marie Leggett.
Yeah. Leggett.
Leggett. There it is. My bad. But she has her sign party, and I actually bought her course, and I'm doing my first, like, me and Diane are doing our first party.
Oh, that's great.
With people, so it's like we're just trying to dive into her course and give her some feedback.
Nice.
Yeah. So
from the laser user point of view. That's what he was talking about at the end of the last episode. We were hanging out talking about it, and he's like, dude, there's so many good things here, and it's like we can just even make it better. It's gonna be killer. Yep. I was like, that's pretty dope, dude.
Yeah, it's a good course. It's worth the money. I'll tell you that right now. So it helps you learn. Like, the Google Forms is enough. Is she's got a great video that she uses that's for Google Forms. I'm pretty proficient in Google Forms now, and to set up payment in your Google form to go directly to your account. Great knowledge right there, especially for a first-time person starting up. You've never done an online form like that, getting payable widgets and whatnot, man. It is a great little. That helped me a lot already.
Well, and Will and I talk all the time about how sometimes when you take a class or when you're just hanging out with somebody, sometimes it's one or two ideas is all you need that can change the game for you. And if you get more than that, even better. But sometimes, like I was talking to, was it Heather? I believe Heather Lynn. We were talking about learning Illustrator, and how sometimes there's this one thing that you learn to go. That's been there for 20 years, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then you use it every day. So that's really cool to hear that there's that one thing that's cool about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of the point of you guys being here tonight, right? Like, so we talked about like what Michael just brought up is like when you first get your laser, you run to IKEA and you're like grabbing all the stuff, but like, so now it's kind of what next? So how do we get to the next level? And that's why you've got the next level.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice segue.
That's great.
Wait a minute. Can you say that segue comment again?
Oh,
Nice.
please.
Nice segue.
Horrible
That, Alex?
segues, typically horrible.
All right. Sorry.
That's great.
So yeah, tell us about this. What's going on with the Next Level Laser Conference?
Yeah.
Well, you want me to start and you jump in?
Go for it.
Yeah. When did it start first?
So let's go back a few years. So Will and I met, like a lot of folks, we met in the, I don't remember which Facebook group, but we're in a bunch of them. And we met in some Facebook groups and we went to an event in California. Was it 3 years ago now, Will?
It will be 3 years in March.
3 years in March. And we met for the first time in person 3 years ago in March. And during one of the breaks at the event, we were just hanging out in the hotel lobby and we said, man, we would really like to do something like this. We'd like to bring some laser owners together and do something like this. And we realized, even though if you don't know us very well and you don't, you'll find out that we are similar and very different at the same time, which makes our friendship kind of fun. But we put some ideas together, and was it just later that year, right? In
August of 2022.
Of 22, we hosted our first
2022.
Our first conference in Sacramento, there where Will lives.
Dude, that's so cool, man.
And it was great. We had about 100 folks there, so that was a good start. And then we immediately, of course, as you can imagine, the next day after we got some sleep, started working on the next one, which we did the following end of March, which is March last year, where we did in Dallas, and we had 200 people, and that was great. And that one was cool. That one sold out essentially in about 3 days in January.
Okay, I remember hearing about that one because I saw Riley Black project, and she had talked about it, or they had talked about it rather, and then I saw the pictures afterwards, but I still didn't make the connection that was you guys running it. I was like, oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah. So of course, again, we started talking about this one. This last summer was really busy for actually all of us, but so we just decided to do number 3, and so this is going to be end of June. But yeah, our big heart, honestly, more than anything, is just to help people. And I'm not trying to hit the next level phrase over and over, but just help people figure out wherever they're at with their laser. Can we help you take a step forward? Not everybody wants the same things. Of course, they don't. Some people are building a business. Some people are just hobbyists, and whatever they want is awesome. That's great. And we just want to make it easier for them, because I think we all remember what it was like when we started with our lasers. Maybe we were kind of fumbling around a little bit, didn't know what we were doing, kind of lost perhaps. And that's one of the things we care about more than anything, is just helping the community support each other. And Will, talk for just a minute about what we love about the community the most at the events. Beyond the teaching and all that kind of stuff.
It's
some of the most fun stuff happens like after each session.
Afterwards, and just the connections, right? We were talking about that. We're very active within the Facebook community, right? And we've grown up in these groups, so we've built these communities in some way, and we kept talking about how do we translate that into something more. Where can it make more of an impact for the community? And we tend when we've gone to events and we've met people and we've just connected with people, the biggest impact was meeting that fellow person in person, right? Just shaking their hands or them saying, hey, I watched one of your videos and you've helped impact my business.
Yeah.
You know, we still get, it's still a weird thing to see when people come up to us and they want to take a selfie or,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, really, I'm just someone who's in the laser community with all of you, right? We grew up together in it. I've had the same struggles as all of you have had. And then you realize that those little things make such an impact on their lives, right? It could be an extra $50 a month that helps pay for groceries for their families. And we all get in these doldrums. And when we bring people together, they realize real quickly that we're all in that journey together. So often we see Facebook and all the successes, and it's like, man, you guys are all doing great, and I'm struggling. Then we get 200 people together, and they're like, oh, wait, you guys have the same struggles as me.
Yeah.
And you're still pushing through and you're here to support me. And that's what's really amazing. We hear great things about the content and, oh yeah, I learned this or I learned that. But the one thing we always hear is it was just amazing to meet other makers.
Yep.
It re-energized me. It made me want to run through a wall for my business. And you don't get that online. It's a different feel. So getting people together like that is just amazing.
And also being able to meet people that you realize, oh my gosh, we're not that far apart geographically. You know, you realize I'm not as geographically alone as I thought I was too. In fact, one of the things we've been pushing in our groups for the last, I don't know, almost last year is getting people to start local user groups.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really cool idea.
And so we've seen, I don't want to exaggerate, Will, but I think we've seen several dozen different sizes around the country start. And that's been really cool. And so we've got one group, one Facebook group where we posted where we just said, hey, where's everybody from? And then just get people to connect with each other. So there's been a bunch of them started in the last year because we're just trying to get everybody together, you know, and connect with people more locally.
Because we see the power of getting people together, and we thought you guys should be doing that in your local areas.
Yes.
And it also gives us an opportunity because I think one of the goals for Mark and myself is these big conferences are great, but if we can go around the country and meet other makers in Michigan or in Houston or Tulsa or Sacramento, we're definitely trying to get around to as many spots in this country as possible.
Yep.
Do the majority of people in your groups use the same lasers, or what's your like the focus around?
It varies. You know, we've seen, I mean, in the beginning, when we first started within these groups, it was the Glowforge, right?
Sure.
It was, what everyone knew. We didn't even know that these lasers can be in our homes, let alone, you know, build a business from it. So Glowforge did an amazing job at marketing. They hooked us all, and our communities were really Glowforge heavy. And then as they started to grow their business, they started to slowly see what else was available there. So, you know, we have users in our group from laser peckers to Glowforges to the X tools to the Eons, the Thunders.
And Alex
Trotec,
just highlighted that one right there
Epilogue.
that says we have 242 people in our Dallas Fort Worth group and appreciate the concept. And so you're definitely going to have like a variety of laser users in that group. And what's really cool, hey Kyle, what's going on, buddy? But what's really cool too about that is, like you guys said, you have all these people, not only the different lasers, but where they're at in their journey and their business skill sets and everything. So having those people to kind of guide you or foster you is like so cool, man.
Yeah, it is. Like in fact, I'm not sure who made that comment, but I know in the DFW area, they've got a pretty active group down there. And I've driven down to Dallas and had lunch with them just to hang out with them. And that for me, that's about a 5 or 6 hour drive. And they got a great active group down there. So it's really cool to see them all hanging out and making friends and taking care of each other. It's really cool.
All right. Real quick, are you willing to make this drive? Precision Etchwork says, I'm near Antarctica. I would it'd be interesting to see how many people are engraving near me.
That's
engraving the ice.
Yeah. I mean, I am from Michigan originally, so the ice doesn't bother me, but that's a long drive.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a tough drive. Yeah.
Might have to modify the car a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, Fort Worth, isn't that where Anka's at?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fort Worth?
She's in Dallas. Yeah, I think so.
She's
Dallas,
right outside
Fort
of
Worth.
Dallas, right in McKinney, which is like 45 minutes from Dallas.
Yeah, she's killing it.
Yeah, she's great.
She is.
Yeah, she has
killing it
some.
over there.
I think she has a new location coming out here pretty soon. I've been following her journey.
Yep.
She's amazing.
Yep, she is. which is great.
There's quite a few users. When we picked our spot for the second conference after Sacramento, we looked at where the majority of our users and our customers were, and the Dallas area was, one, just centrally located, so it just made sense for people to get there, and two, we just had the most users out there.
Right.
And was it mostly like courses on how to deal with files, or did you have actual machines there showing demonstrations?
That's a great question. So our first one, we didn't have any vendors there at all. The first one. So the first one was all breakouts. We taught Illustrator, help me out with the Illustrator, Silhouette, Inkscape, Procreate, and probably some other ones that I forgot.
Yeah,
that I've forgotten. So there was a lot of classes that talked about the programs. Did a few other things as well. And then we carried that again toward into Dallas, did a similar thing where we had some breakouts. We had some classes on those types of things, also on product photography. It's funny, Will, we didn't sleep a lot in Dallas, and I still feel tired. And it's last year. I'm still tired.
I mean, after the conference, every day when it ended, we were out there just hanging out with people. I think there were times I was out there till like 3 or 4 in the morning. Starbucks opened, grabbed my coffee, and I was right back at the conference within the next hour.
But so the first two were very much breakout classes on different topics, whether it be I had a class on how to sell files. We did a photography, all the different design programs. We had a painting class. And I know there's a few others that I'm brain farting on now.
I would love to take a painting class, because that's like and see, this is where, all right, I'm going to tie it back to it. I just saw this. Here we go. John Uftring says, online, you only see success, and it gives you like a huge inferiority complex. Like, I wish I could do that. And you can ask Boyce, like every week I look at those damn things he makes behind him, those maps, and I ask him a question like, all right, wait, what'd you do? And like, I think I'm probably the most average laser user you'll ever meet. Like that's like my specialty in here is I'm like the normal guy. And so like, that's the kind of crap I still struggle with, because number one, it takes time. Number two, I'm not great at it. And number three, I don't know how to charge right for it. So I just think instead of all that, I'll just do the basic easy thing and just make something that anybody can make. But that's the point of the next level, is like, how do we do that? And again, I'm not trying to hit on that next level, but like that's literally the kind of product that I need to make, because when I actually just took some products to one of the stores I was telling you guys about before the show started, and the guy was like, what could we do to spice this up? And I was like, okay. Like that was my feeling, because I'm like, can't you just like what I do? But he's like, the problem is, just like you guys said, everybody can do these. So how do you go up? Like,
you gotta stand out
and expect. So he loves me, but the problem is the people who come into the store don't know me. They know my product that's sitting in front of them, and they're like, and then they just walk by it. So that's really cool that all those things you just said are what I need to do, like honestly. So
like here's you said you had a course on selling digital files. Like say you're really you're really good at graphic design. Say that's a skill that you have. Maybe your laser skills are still catching up, but you already have a background, and you're like, man, I'm looking at some of these laser cut files. I could sell some of these.
Heck yeah.
And then I'm talking about myself here, because I've been thinking about this recently, right?
Yeah.
And then you go on Etsy, and something I don't go on Etsy very often. I haven't been there in years, and I go on there and I start to see laser cutting pack files, 2,000 files for $2.
Yeah.
And at least 100 of them are not that bad.
Sure.
So when I go in, the rest of them look like dog crap. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Any run of the mill. But when someone like me, I'm just pretending like, hey, I have 10 years of laser cutting and laser engraving experience. Okay. But do I have experience selling files and selling file packs? No. So the first thing I see when I go on there is, oh God,
Yeah.
Like, this is what people want now. Like, you don't sell unless you make a bundle of 3,000 files, most of them dog crap. Like that, I don't have time for that. So I want to take that course, is what I'm saying.
Well,
What you were teaching.
And of course, that is true that there are bundles like that. I found I'm by no means the biggest seller out there, not at all. But between my website and Etsy, I've probably sold 200,000 files, maybe something like that.
Woo.
And
awesome.
I'm getting started. I'm getting started still. But what I've learned, for me, there's a couple things that I've learned. I think this is true about laser designs in general. In fact, creativity in general.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about, if you're a painter or if you're a musician, you could make the argument that your music's like somebody else's already. Like you weren't the first, and you're not going to be, you're not going to be the last.
Right.
And that is factually true. That is true. But I have found that for me personally, I'm a decent designer. There are designers better than me, for sure. But I really enjoy people, and I really enjoy taking care of them. And so I've kind of made my niche, or niche if you're from Oklahoma, just taking care of people and making sure that when I make something, I put a lot of support into it. Virtually all of the files that we've done in the last couple of years, the last couple hundred files we've done, come with video support, maybe some 3D support, that kind of 3D
assembly.
Thank you. Yep. And that kind of thing, just spending a lot of time supporting people.
Ooh.
And that speaks to a lot of people, doesn't speak to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do the 3,000 files for $1.99.
Yeah.
And if that's what somebody's looking for, that is great. God bless them. Go grab that pack and enjoy the support that comes with it.
Yeah, that's my thoughts as well, Mark. That's how I feel about that kind of.
You said you did 3D stuff. Like, have you ever thought about teaching curve to people ever?
Oh man!
Before the show started, he was like, "People know me for curve," and I was like, I literally typed in "big blue laser," and literally the next thing that popped up was like curve.
Yep,
so
it is. And I find it really easy, and I enjoy teaching people because people get so intimidated by it, and the minute they realize what it is and what it's not, it's like, this isn't hard at all. And when they get over that hump, they can stop being worried about it. And that's that's something I love doing, and I love seeing the light come on in someone's eyes when they realize, oh, I can do this. Yes, you can. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that. And I think tying that back to what I do. Yes. Hey, Nikki, how are you? So I enjoy helping people, and so for me as a designer, I've kind of leaned into that. And I do have some designs that are that are specifically me, that are really unique. But everybody makes a phone holder. Everybody makes a happy birthday sign. I mean, there's things you can get everywhere, right?
Right.
But I really spend a lot of time with people trying to support them. And hey, if my file costs $7 and someone else has it for $2, and you want to spend the $2, that's great. But I think for a couple extra bucks, I guarantee my support's going to be better than a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if you're selling this for a living, like if you're selling stuff, $5 one way or the other is not going to make any difference. And if it's a high quality file that you feel good about, you're going to make that money back on the very first sale. So
yeah. And the other thing too is there's a lot of people don't understand when it says laser ready, what that means.
Oh my gosh.
Because my cousin is married to an incredibly gifted design person. Like, she has a degree in it. She's really talented. She works for now she has her own company, but she worked for a huge market down here. And long story short, she literally was like, hey, I'm going to make some great files for you. And she started sending me stuff. It would take me like an hour and 45 minutes to take these, laser files and make them ready to actually use. And so that's where people don't understand. If time is money and you drop $5 extra on this $7 file, who cares? Not only are you going to make the money back, but you saved it in the amount of time. Because if you're paying yourself $30 an hour, you just cost yourself, like a sixth of an hour or something like that for what? 10 minutes.
Right.
So just saying, it's worth it. And the other thing too is you might even learn something from looking at that really nice file that you're like,
absolutely.
Again. So
anyways, and the headache.
The headache, dude.
I mean, I know you don't need me, but if any of you want to get into file selling, hit me up. I'll help you.
Great.
I will absolutely help you for sure.
Done.
Oh, voice, you're muted. Hold on, buddy. You were playing bongos on your keyboard a minute ago.
My man. These files for these lakes were not ready. I'll put it that way. It took me probably 30 minutes of manipulation to layer it
Yeah.
and group it and then frame it and then make it 8x10 frame versus 6x8 frames. So you have to still put a lot of time and labor into it and thought.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Miranda, typical voice, I know. But yeah, it's a real pain in the ass when you go spend $5, $6, $8, $10, $15 on a file or a bundle of signed files, whatever, and you're like, shit. Now I gotta dork with this thing for 30
Yeah,
minutes.
and the kind of product that Mark's selling, you know, like he's going to be the guy that says, you know, when someone who's just getting started buys his file and goes and cuts it from the outside, from the outside in, and it's like, why is my stuff dropping through? I don't understand. Like he's going to be the guy that says, oh, you need to change your setting to cut from the inside out, you know, and right. And they're not going to do that with those,
Light clicks on
6,000 piece bundles, you know, you're going to have to just figure it out.
And I get a lot of joy out of seeing somebody succeed. And I figure if I invest time in somebody, that's going to come back to me. I really believe that, you know, whether it comes back to me and them buying something or somebody else, it doesn't matter. That's who I want to be in the community. So that's how I'm going to be. And if I send people to buy files from other designers all the time because I want what's best for them. And it's worked out for me that way. And why in the world would I teach somebody how to sell files when I do that for a living? You know,
yeah,
it's because
you're a madman, Mark. You're a madman.
You know,
madman.
All right, what do we got? I researched laser engraving on YouTube for 6 months and got hooked. So I purchased my first laser and attended LBX 23 without ever seeing a laser engraver in person. With no experience at LBX, I was a bit lost, but now 3 weeks experience, I'm ready for the next level laser conference. Is the conference only offering a certain number of tickets to this event? Great question.
That's a great question. Will, I'll let you answer that one because I'm talking too much.
Oh, no problem. We had 200 in Dallas, right? And that was the max that we can fit in this spot. When we looked for the next location, we looked for a spot that could accommodate a significant amount more. We are at about 50% of our capacity right now. So there's still an ample amount of tickets available, but that we really don't know how quickly they will sell out. I will say if you're interested and you're really thinking about it, get your tickets now, right? Yeah. There's no need to wait 2 weeks. If you know that this is going to be for you, and this event's going to be something that's going to help take your business where you want it to be, grab your tickets now.
And ask questions because, you know, we want this to be a good fit for everybody and we think it is, but don't, you know, if you're not sure, ask a bunch of questions. It's all good.
And so do you want to walk people through like the different levels that you've got here? Like what's up for grabs? Yeah.
So there's only really 3 things there as far as tickets are concerned. There's the general admission ticket there that's $3.99, and that gets of course that gets into the conference, and then it gets you breakfast and lunch on Saturday and Sunday, and then we're also having a mixer. We got a jazz band coming on Friday night, which is gonna be fun.
Oh, that's dope.
And nice. Just honestly, we already know from the last 2 conferences that people just love hanging out together, and we wanted to, instead of making them try to find somebody to hang out with, we have a huge room Will, how many people? I think in that room with tables in it, we can get 700 people in it. So it's a huge room. And so we just want to create some environment on Friday night where people can just hang out for a couple hours together, have some good music, listen to the music, don't listen to the music, talk to friends, that kind of thing. And yeah, so that's the main conference ticket there. And then we have a lot of people who have a husband or a wife or a +1 that comes that maybe isn't into lasers, doesn't really want to go to all the general sessions, but they want to go to the vendor room.
Yeah.
And so we've got a $49 here. Yeah, I got a $49 ticket there for the vendor room. So anytime the vendor room's open, they can go in that, and it also gets them to that Friday night mixer as well.
And that's really cool too, because if you ever just need to take a break and go hang out with them or do something, you can be like, hey, I'll meet you out there. Because my wife would be that person. Like, I've tried my best to get her interested in anything I'm doing out here, and she literally is like, nope.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm so glad that you were able to buy us a refrigerator with that money. I don't want to touch anything out there. It's dirty. And I'm like, okay, great.
Right.
So, Will,
this is the kind of thing.
Can we get a sneak peek of or unless you have it listed already, what is in the vendor room? Is it what's going to be in the vendor room?
Yeah, so we can tell you about. So we've got several vendors who are within a couple of days of committing that, so we can't share those yet, but we can tell you several of the vendors that are. Will, we've got in terms of vendor booths, we've got a ton of them that are already full. So in no particular order here, but we've got Eon USA. Eon Laser USA is one of our conference sponsors, so they're going to be there for sure. And then also Lens Digital, they'll be there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where I'm going to do this from memory. This is awful. So we've got,
I have them.
okay, Will's got him right in front of him, so you go for
Hey,
it.
what a
man.
guy.
We got H&H Creations out of Tampa.
Oh, Brian and
Nice.
Christina.
Nice.
That
Yes,
right.
they're
Oh,
going to be there. I
buddies,
think they were over at LBX. You probably met them at LBX as well. Monarch Pines is going to be there. They do a lot of jewelry blanks. So you're going to be able to, expand into that
Awesome.
business, especially as we see more
Katie?
people graduate. Yep, Katie. As we see more people graduate into, fiber lasers and wanting to expand that business that way. So that's going to be great. CMB Acrylics is going to be there.
Very cool.
Houston Acrylic.
Yep.
We also have Smoky Hill Designs is going to be there with all their product.
Very nice.
Laser Wood Supplies out of Tennessee, right? Is that where
Yep.
Alex is on Tennessee?
Clarksville, basically.
We have PDS coming with some UV printers from Mamaki.
Oh, cool.
Steve. So that's going to be cool. We're excited about that. I think we hear it in the groups, right? It's laser. Ooh,
yeah.
UV printers is the new thing. Like
It's what everybody wants.
a
It's
UV
like that
printer.
big ticket that you're like, oh man.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
UV printers combined with lasers, right?
Right.
Then
Yeah.
Now you're combining color with real color with all your laser cut cool stuff.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And we also have I forget that company name, Big Blue Laser Designs is
Oh,
going to
they're
be
way
out there.
Just skip
Yeah,
them.
they're-
Yeah, right.
skip
I
them.
think they teach Kerp or something. I don't know.
Dang it.
I heard he knows a little something about that.
All right. That's all I
And then
got.
I'll have my company will be out there, Crazy Laser Dad blanks. So all of our laser
you go.
laser ready blanks will be out there as well. And like we said, we have quite a few more vendors who were just getting the fine tuning of the last bits that we're trying to get as many people out there. We've definitely upped our vendor game. We've upped our vendor room to like really just showcase all the newest products, the newest machines, trying to give all the attendees an understanding of what's out there so they can find what works best for them.
Well,
Right.
yeah, and actually, I was just about to mention that. I thought that was really cool because at LBX, like anybody who went, like the whole day was like booked. Like you had to run from one place to the next, which is not to throw any shade at it. It was just that's the style. You guys did that for the first 2 years. You said where you had like the breakout sessions.
Yeah.
But what's really neat about this, and I don't know if you guys said it tonight because I've been trying to behind the scenes stuff, but I know I actually was reading about it in one of the groups where. I think Will had mentioned to somebody in one of the groups that it was going to be, might have been Sumida and Anuj, their group, where you had said it's going to be a huge room, like one big conference room, like a TED Talk.
Correct.
We've changed up the format from our first two.
Yeah, and that's where I was looking at this.
Yep. The energy of having a giant room with everyone in there with some dynamic speakers really done up really well, I think is going to be something that people love, right? They love that energy. We all love the classes and we get great things from that. But we also know that there's something to having everyone in there pumped up, excited about it. So we made that change for it. And it'll give opportunities for people to find vendor time. They're not running around. They know where
that's what I was gonna say. Like it's you're not missing a class to go do something with vendors.
No.
That's really neat.
Very cool.
Yep.
And then we added we added some value there too. We knew that design programs, Silhouette, Illustrator, Procreate, Lightburn are difficult to get onto a giant stage in front of everyone for people to get those answers that they're looking for, right? Because like Mark said earlier, sometimes you just need those one or two answers. And if you cover a certain scope of things, your answers might not fall within that. And if you have 100 people in class, how do you get those questions answered? So we came up with this idea of these Ask Me Anything booths where we will have experts from Silhouette, Illustrator, Inkscape,
Lightburn,
Procreate,
Let me go back to this. And you guys, I mentioned it. Let's see. Will it be recorded so attendees can rewatch it after the event? And by the way, whenever you see Facebook user, it's because they might be from one of your streams. For people who are watching, wondering why is this happening? So it's being shared in like 3 or 4 different places. So anyways, Facebook user, will it be recorded so the attendees can rewatch?
Great question. Right at the moment, of course, this is January. So right at the moment, the answer is probably no. But that's nothing's final until it's June. So we'll check into that. I'll answer another question that I guarantee is going to come up is people asking if we're going to live stream. I'll say that right now is no, because there's a lot of when I say bandwidth, I mean that literally, but also figuratively.
We know this. We know.
Yeah, right. And so we want to do something with excellence. And if we don't know if we can do it with excellence, we don't want to do it. And what it takes to do a live stream of a existing thing there, we're just not going to do it this time around. However, we are working on planning an online only conference. Instead of doing the conference both ways,
we're doing like a Zoom conference kind of thing where you could have like a presentation and everybody's there.
I'm sorry, I missed you. Say it again.
Where it'd be like a Zoom conference almost, where like you can just do it all online.
Could be, yeah. We're still talking about how to do that. Whether we want to have people stay where they are, or whether we're going to bring all the presenters into one place and then live stream it from there. Lots of opportunities for how to do that. But we just want to do it really well. And heck, just the idea of thinking about hotel Wi-Fi, and I just don't want to do it. Live streaming.
Voice.
Horrible.
I was going to say, you absolutely are right, because Kyle knows our first day at LBX, and I think everybody knows the first day at LBX was a struggle. Boys literally had to climb up a tree and throw an antenna up so that we could get 5G like 30 feet into a tree in a bag. I mean,
Alex is already not feeling good. I don't think he should like bring all that up.
No, but you know what's funny though is he literally just said, I might have to show up with a camera. So like he's inspired.
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, hard recording versus streaming is a completely different thing.
Oh yeah,
recording to hard drives versus streaming
completely
is
different. Yeah,
completely different.
And that's why our edits look so nice, dude. Like our edits, did you hear how like crisp we sounded and how nice it all looked? Because Jess and Alex and Kyle and everybody running it. Just saying.
That's great.
So Miranda said it's only an 18-and-a-half-hour drive. Alex, you got this.
Nice. That's great.
Oh my god! But anyways, so real quick, just to show people what you were talking about, you go ahead. I was just going to show them. Mark, go for it.
I was just going to mention more of the ask us anything kind of thing. So we've got several people that are going to be in the vendor room. Anytime the vendor room's open, they're going to have their own booth. They're going to have a big screen TV really next to them, and the idea is if you have a question about, say, Illustrator, you can walk up and talk to Victor, or you can talk to Heather and ask them a question. It's going to be up on the big screen next to them, but other people can watch. It's not just one-to-one. I mean, it can be a whole group of people getting the same answer. But we figured that, again, like we talked about, if you're in an hour-and-a-half class, chances are someone could dominate the class and you don't get your question answered, or you just need a couple things. So we want you to be able to talk to an expert directly and get that answer. And then you can hang around and watch other questions. But we just thought that would be a really cool way to connect with the teacher. And
well, I have a question then. So you're going to have them sitting there with a big screen next to them on their laptop hooked up to show them performing your question.
That's cool, man.
Yes. Then you can record that stuff, almost said bad words, on your phone.
You could,
doing it. Like you could literally get your
remember it. Yeah. Why not?
In fact, I think they should. Yeah, because if it was my question, I was asking, how do I
I record my question, record the answer, and record the video. That is significant. You don't see that very often. That's a great idea.
In fact, thank you for saying that. I'm going to remind people that over and over to do that. Like, make sure you do that. Because I know for me, it's kind of like drinking out of a fire hydrant when you go to a conference. Yeah. I'm not going to remember everything.
Information overload is a real thing.
Totally.
Victor said I need to talk to my agent.
Victor, yes.
Oh, surprise, Victor. We just added more to your plate. You will be on there for 20 hours a day on a computer answering thousands of questions. No, but
and you're going to do
really excited about. We're excited about that concept there with the Ask Me Anythings, with the topics we have, as well as I think one of them on there is missing that we added a CPA.
Oh my god, CPA is awesome.
Yes,
I would also think that that type of format would be something every single speaker could take back with them and provide for people to sign up and say, hey, I'm gonna do 30-minute blocks. You can sign up and I'll sit down, do Q&A with you in a group setting, and then everyone can get the same 10 questions answered in a 30-minute period, just kind of bang them all out. That's something that I think that those people that are speaking could really incorporate into their repertoire, like something really efficient at home, click, bang, and just knock out some really, really good Q&A and bring some value.
And we're also planning between now and June we're going to interview all of these folks live and let people ask questions right then. Don't wait till June. Get them answered now. You know.
And by the way, speaking of something likable, if you're watching the show and you think it's doing well, give us a like. We have 93 active users right now. We've got 19 likes. Let people see this. This might be something like by clicking that like button now, it gets it in front of them. And this might be the thing that ups their next, gets them to the next level and ups their game with lasers.
And subscribe too.
Yeah, like and subscribe
for sure. I'm streaming it over on my channel right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Also, is all the links to where these are streaming? Is all the links to where they're streaming their stuff at on here too, so people can go check out all those and follow them?
Yep. Kyle is going to add them at the end, I believe, or he might have put half of them.
If they're not already there, I will make sure they're in the next minute.
Kyle's the man. Yes.
Alex says, if Matt says next level, not in reference to the conference one more time.
Well, you should see how much we struggle even just in our brainstorming. We're like, oh, we need to take this to the next.
Yeah, I know, but he's
again.
Right.
But it's true. Like that's the great thing is literally the catchphrase is the action. Like you are trying to upgrade, you're trying to go pro, you're trying to do it. That's how you get there, man.
Yeah. And it's really not even. It could be any level, right? It could be a novice trying to just get more efficient, or it could be someone looking to build a 6-figure business.
Yeah.
Well, and really quickly, I wanted to ask because I'm looking at this, so I'm gonna bring up Alex's because he's got a nice clear picture here. Can you tell us a little bit about what they're going to talk about, or is that like undercover? Like, what are some of the things that they're going to hear from these specific?
Yeah, we can talk about some of them for sure. Some of them are still kind of honing those in, but of course, we've got Dawn Marie. She's going to talk about profitable parties, and
awesome.
And one of the things that she and I were talking, we've talked several times in the last week, but she talks about the misconceptions of parties, or how sometimes people think this is the only way a party can happen. This is the only target market. It's only these people, only this way. And she's learned from experience. There's a lot of ways to do. In fact, she kind of pushes away a little bit from the word party because sometimes that has a connotation that maybe it isn't.
Right.
So she just wants to teach people how to make money in these ways. So that's going to be exciting for her to talk about that. Oh, hey, there she is. As a matter of fact.
Hey, Dawn Marie.
And my friend Gabe Harris. Gabe is a friend of mine. The community doesn't know him, but when we were thinking about who we wanted to speak to us, Gabe immediately came to my mind because I thought, this guy, who do I know that's a compelling speaker that's really great to listen to, that's really smart? This guy came immediately in mind, and I've known him for many years, and he's going to talk about how important it is for entrepreneurs, for all of us, when we hit speed bumps to be able to bounce back and bounce back stronger.
Nice.
And that's really, really important because a lot of us struggle, and we struggle alone. And I'm sorry, I don't remember who said it earlier, but how everything on Facebook looks great, but that doesn't mean everything's actually great.
Yeah, it was John Uftring. And speaking of that, like Dan in comments just said, I'm trying to get started. I've had a laser for 6 months and it's still in the box. And sometimes it's literally just unboxing that thing.
Yeah. Let us help you, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Please,
we got it.
Yes.
We got you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crack that baby open.
So Gabe's going to be there teaching resilience. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Media in the news, they're going to talk about working with influencers and how you can do that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they've got some great info.
Absolutely. Of course, Daryl, what the heck is Daryl going to talk about? Man, that guy's, we love Daryl. We're just kidding.
Everything.
But he can talk about a lot of things. And we're going to do probably a couple of these folks are probably going to speak, and we're also going to do a sit down like interview with them and take questions from the audience and that kind of thing too. So that'll be kind of a fun mix.
Very cool.
So yeah, that's
Jessica,
just some
Jessica
of the
will be
things.
talking about Etsy.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Jessica
Jessica Trueblood. Talk about Etsy, how to get the most out of Etsy.
See, that's one of the things too that I still need to tap into, and it's the same thing. Like it's exactly like Dan a minute ago. I opened up Etsy. I had some stuff that I thought was going to be good, and then it's like, do these 15 million steps, and I was just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of
I-
selling files on Etsy, there's another place that you guys could sell files at if you wanted to cater directly to the laser people.
Oh,
Oh,
let's
yeah,
hear
tell us
it,
about
Kyle.
that, Kyle.
The
Who is that?
marketplace,
Nice.
Whoa.
the MakerREMIX Marketplace,
Nice.
Oh,
and
man.
it's fresh, it's prime, it's ready for files.
Mhm.
Excellent. I've got a couple packs ready to go, and they
There's
do not contain 6,000 files, and they're not $2.
Yeah,
All right,
just
and
I actually got my first Etsy file sale literally yesterday.
Nice.
I have one thing on there.
Attaboy.
It's just what somebody was looking for. You know, I was like, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
It
great.
can be done without even trying, just passive income. You know,
And
no big
yeah, I was
deal.
going to go back to this real quick because I think Alex is clicking it, but it said, will there be a printed program of all the presenters and vendors? If
Yes.
so, could you be sure to add their Facebook info, YouTube contact, etc.?
Ooh,
Yep,
that's
there
a long
absolutely
list.
will be. And we're also right now on the event Facebook page. We are posting about one person a day. We're trying not to just dump everything on there at one time.
Right.
But we're saying, hey, here's Crystal Aguila. Here's her contact information. You know, here's Dawn Marie. Here's her contact information. So we've got that. We've got that as well going on. And of course, we'll give you a program and a bunch of information at the event too.
All right. And the next question, by the way, if you guys have any questions, we're in the last 10 minutes of the interview here. This is it. Like, hit them with anything you've got. If you've got questions about lodging, if you've got questions about anything, you know, this would be the time. So this one says, calculating from your first 2 conferences in LBX, what are the number of newbie laser engravers versus the pros? I ask because I'm wondering if you'll have enough information for newbies to understand and take away enough to say I'll be back next year.
Will, I'll let you answer that one.
You know, we have such a wide range of users on different levels of their laser journey, right? You're going to get the new ones. We've had people who have not opened their lasers. We had a couple people who were debating on getting lasers, and we had people who, you know, you might feel is higher in your journey. But I think anyone who wants to attend the event, from someone who's newer to someone who's more experienced, is you're going to take away information that's going to be valuable in your business. If it's meeting others who are in that same journey, if it's asking those questions, not being afraid to ask those new questions that sometimes you might not want to ask in a group, right? Asking a fellow user who might be further along in that journey, seeing those names that we see on that list there that we're like, wow, I've seen them within the Facebook groups. They do similar things to what I want to do. I'm going to seek them out and ask them questions, right? And we've put together an amazing team of people who want to share that knowledge, that want to see you succeed. We didn't bring, you know, these over a dozen people, gatekeepers, right? Who are going to be like, oh, we're here. You guys are down there. Figure it out. We were very selective on who we wanted to be a part of our team that exhibit a certain level of sharing information to people. And you're going to go there and you can be a newbie who, like myself in a lot of ways, and you'll have some who are just way higher, but you're going to learn from them, right? You're going to surround yourself with people who have done it. And you're going to also learn that a lot of their journeys are the same as ours.
And the one thing I think too, that you like, the cool thing is we've spoken on our podcast with probably like half the people up here, maybe, like, you know, and one of the best things that you realize is they're all humble. Because any person who goes to these things and is a speaker probably knows that they know a lot, sure, but there's so much more to know. Like, you know, you literally just had Boyce said he made his first Etsy sale, and Mark said he sold over 200,000 files, but he's still learning. Like Mike was saying too.
And I don't know crap about selling digital files online. You know what I mean?
And you've got 10 years of laser experience with a variety of lasers.
Exactly.
Like, I'm sitting here, I've got UV, fiber, and CO2, but I've never touched Etsy. So everybody's at different points in different places, man.
Well,
So,
also, like, I'll say as a new user, I've only been working this for like a year and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
And going to that conference, I didn't get to go to any of the classes. We were busy working. But I mean, just looking from it from an outsider's point of view, no matter where you're at, like, there's a percentage, let's say a quarter of the people there, because they have a business, they're trying to go next level investment. I'm going to buy a UV printer or a CNC. But there's also going to be people that are just there to do an at-home business like I am out of my basement. You know, like, there's probably be a 25%, a quarter, let's say, and it's going to be easy to kind of narrow it down. I think you guys might make it pretty easy too, where you'll know where your information's got to come from. Because if you don't know Illustrator, that's where you're at. Like it's really, that is where you're at. So you can kind of be efficient with your time at a conference. Say, okay, I'm here. Go there with a goal. I want to get better at graphic design.
That's a good idea.
Focus on that. Don't go there and go fire hose, just take it all in. Just say, I'm going to go there to learn 2 or 3 things and focus on that stuff. And if it's going to be recorded later, cool. If it does, if it doesn't, it is what it is. You can't learn it all in one conference. So I would say go there with a goal of 2 or 3 things you want to learn, or make a relationship or a connection, a vendor, whatever it is. Just have a goal in mind.
That's
this is a
advice.
goal too that a lot of people, I don't mean to push, but we got 5 minutes. And this is something I think a lot of people ask about. Is there going to be anybody who discusses insurance liability or aspects for small business at the conference?
I will say we don't have anybody currently, but it is January. That doesn't mean we can't find somebody, right?
That is something that we get asked about on LMA. We get asked here probably weekly, and it's something that even like I want to know more about too, So that's something where it'd be really cool because the CPA is a huge one. Like a lot of people think, oh, it's a waste of money, but they don't realize like, what is it? Amortization of your equipment or whatever, right? Like literally the money that you save by being able to actually have it as a tax write-off that, keeps getting lower and lower. So I'm just saying like that's
proper handling of your taxes is enormous, and it will absolutely affect your bottom line and the
it's a wise investment.
To me, it's like paying for a good file, paying for a good CPA. I mean, you can get the one that's laser ready, or you can get the one that actually knows what it's doing.
So that's a great. In fact, we'll talk about trying to find somebody. Yeah, because we were really thrilled to be able to add Tasha as our CPA just last week. I can't guarantee anything, but I can almost guarantee there's going to be several additions over the next coming weeks, like that one, as we find more experts that we can trust, that we can vet to make sure they know what they're talking about, right? So we'll definitely be looking at Jeannie, or I'm sorry, I don't know how to say name, Jeannie probably. We will definitely be looking into that for sure. So thank you for asking.
It's a great question. All right, what is it? Thanks for putting on this conference. As an educator, I truly appreciate the amount of work and risk involved. I'm looking forward to finally being able to attend a conference. Yeah, because of the summer. We were just talking about that before we started the show. I was a teacher for 17 years. Mark's married to a teacher. Will
married to a teacher.
And then Boyce engaged
to a
teacher.
Yeah,
Kyle,
married in May to a teacher.
My girlfriend's a teacher, and we've been together for 12 years. So there's that.
And this is actually where you can take a trip and go to this thing. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, I just, we've joked too. I'll say this. We've joked about how many relationships, friendships have been made at different events, including not ours, just all of the different laser events around. And we've also joked about how, why in the heck do we not all get together more often and we just wait till there's a giant event to do it? And that's great. But we also hope that, again, some local user groups get sprung out of this as well, so that people can stay connected wherever they live. If you make a good friendship at the event, man, go back home and stay connected for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one of those things too. There's so many things that we don't have, like Brian and Christina from H&H, one of your sponsors you guys talked about. What's really fun is I went and interviewed them because they posted in one group. I saw them and I was like, hey, they're like 20 minutes from my house.
Oh, that's cool.
So I drove over there, and getting to see the equipment and the things that they can do to get your business to the next level.
Yeah. Oh,
there it is.
Oh,
but
anyways, there it is, man. Wow.
Fired.
Your ass up.
Fired.
Oh, look at me.
Dang it, Alex. Anyway, he said, shaking my head. Anyways, long story short, like that's it. Like finding those people, like if you can meet somebody there who you can go over to the shop, see the great things that they offer, and then be like, wow, and then plus they're just really fun, cool people. So getting to hang out with them and meet them and see how they can help you out, and along with everybody else, is really, really cool opportunity. And so I'm glad you guys are being able to do this for a 3rd year, man. Congrats on that. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I got to tell you guys, when this show started, I was like, another conference, like, it's cool. And then, because I'm just like fried still from LBX. After this episode of the podcast, I'm like, I'm gonna have to get a ticket. I'm probably gonna have to catch a flight.
I was
I'm not
thinking the same-
driving
I was thinking
18
the same
hours.
thing. Yeah.
I am not driving to Oklahoma. I'm definitely getting on a plane.
Tulsa, right? I'm
So,
gonna Google
like,
it.
My
now
wife
I'm
is a
like-
teacher. We could take a trip out there, man. I'm just saying.
I know. I'm trying to like figure out plans now. I'm like how I'm gonna fit this in and like get
Right.
there and what I'm gonna do, what the shoot's gonna be like. So, you sold me, and that's after the firestorm of LBX. So,
Well, I mean, I
wow.
can speak for Will. We would love to stay connected with all of you, regardless of how that works out.
yeah,
And
of course.
and heck, if we
of
can
course.
if we can come to your part of the country just to have a hangout or a workshop, I don't care anything. We'd love to, because we talked about that in the beginning of the show. Is he and I have tried. We've been brainstorming about how we can travel around and just hang out with people and maybe do a workshop, maybe just hang out, but go around the country and try to draw people together. Like there's a group up in Wisconsin, Badgerland group, that they put
Hey,
it together
Badgers.
specifically to get us to come up there and hang out with them. So we got to do that.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
big Michigan group as well.
Yeah,
That's right,
oh,
up in
huge.
Grand Rapids. Yeah, Dave
That's
Nobody ever
Brown.
wants to come down to
And-
Florida. It's always sunny and wonderful here.
I hope
Right.
too. Like
The paint.
I definitely think we should do, assuming you guys don't like sell out in the next month or two, a follow up just to like, you know, do like a final
yeah.
like push just to get people to go to this. I think a lot
sure.
of people, I think the vocal majority, I'll call them in chat, are very excited, but a lot of people that aren't talking are probably like, oh, it would be weird to go to a conference with like real people, you know. It's like it's so eye-opening and just like it's and refreshing and,
It's a
and
different
powerful.
experience.
It's a completely different experience. So if you're on the fence, I would really push you to if you haven't done something like this before, to give it a shot. What Mark and Will are doing with the Next Level Laser Conference is a great opportunity for you to go as like a first timer to something like this. I really believe that. So
And that kind of leads to this question. I agree with Alex. They how many have purchased tickets at this point? How many are left roughly? I mean, ballpark it. You're good. Let's see.
Try not to talk over Will.
Other way, Mark.
Huh?
So, oh, you're pointing the wrong way.
Oh,
Yeah.
God dang.
There
There
I
you
am.
go. I know it's
reversed.
so weird.
Yeah, so we mentioned it earlier. We're at
Yep.
50% capacity. There's still quite a bit of tickets available. We want to ensure that we have a space large enough to accommodate it. We're anticipating LBX type numbers, so we're looking close to that. And there's still a
Nice.
lot of tickets available, but definitely look at trying to get tickets as soon as possible. Hotel rooms fill up pretty quickly as well. We're
That's
learning
actually-
that real quickly.
That's the
That's
big
actually
problem.
the bigger one, right? Because
Yeah,
Because
I was
there's
just about
gonna-
to say right here. It's all the information. I love the way you guys put this together. It's very clear and concise and answers the questions people have.
thank you. That's great. But that mention about the hotel rooms, there are several hotels like across the street and down the street that I'm going to start getting some more information about those hotels, because we anticipate the Renaissance being full relatively soon in terms of hotel rooms.
Got
I
it.
don't know.
We
And
have
so-
taken over that whole hotel from
Yeah.
every single
Yes.
bit of their conference space to 75% of the rooms of the entire hotel
Wow,
is
that's
for the
wild, man.
conference.
Yeah.
So,
Let's do
yeah.
100.
Yes.
And what's
And,
nice too is it's only 10 minutes from the airport, so you're not having to drive. Like I had to ride with Boyce for 2 hours. That was magical.
Poor
Mm,
thing.
that-
Did you guys fly into like O'Hare and
Yeah.
drive to Peoria? I did the
No.
exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I drove.
I drive.
Boyce drove in and he picked me up. Like I just had my thumb
the
out
way
and he was
through.
like, "Come on, show some leg." It got
Get
kinda
in, kid.
Before I let you guys and your audiences go, I would love to invite anybody who's off platform right now to come follow Laser Everything on YouTube.
Yes.
Come sub to the channel, hang out with us. We do the show live every single week. We have a ton of great guests, a lot of which are attending or speaking at this conference. So if you want to hear all of those interviews and hang out with us, definitely sub to the channel. You'll get notified when we go live. It's every Tuesday at 9:00. Plus, we have a lot of other helpful content here for you. And don't forget as well to if you'd rather listen, and a lot of people do. We just hit 85,000 lifetime downloads, by the way, on the audio podcast. It's pretty
Congratulations.
crazy. We're on all of the major podcast, hosts and curation things, from Spotify to Apple Podcasts to Google Podcasts, all that kind of stuff. So definitely hit us up over there as well. We'd love to have you guys, and special thanks to Will and Mark for coming on to the show. We definitely need to have you guys on again. Maybe we'll definitely after the pressure is off.
Yeah, I'd like to hear
from
what
the
changes you're doing
conference,
for it too. That'd be
and
cool.
just like hang out. Like I
Yeah.
have so many questions for you. I'm so mad that I was sick for this. I'm glad I got to sit for it, but like
Thank
I've
you
just
for
been
being here,
sitting
man.
here. No, of course. I've just been sitting here like reeling and like upset that I can't talk. So we'll definitely have to have you guys back on really soon so that we can like chat a little bit more. But
Yeah, and
Definitely.
thank you,
I'm
Mike,
really
for coming
grateful.
on. Michael.
I know how busy you both are, so it means a lot to me that you carve some time out of your schedules for us.
Very cool. Thank you.
Also, check out Will's live streams on Facebook. They're pretty damn good.
I was just going to
jump
say,
on those.
I did, in addition to the Facebook fam heading over and checking out the channel, in the description below to the YouTube peeps, there are links to Will and Mark and their stuff as well. So if you need links anywhere, they're in all the places.
All the links in all the places, guys.
Yes.
And
Excellent.
And also
Michael.
laser engraving 911.
I was just
Yeah.
about to
Yeah,
hit
I
him
think-
up, dude.
Facebook users, you guys come over to Laser Engraving 911 and hit a sub over there too. I was glad to see all you guys in here, and Mark and Will. It was really nice meeting you guys and hearing what you
Same
got,
to you.
what
Thank
you
you.
have been doing, and what you've currently got up your sleeve right now. It's exciting. I might have to join Alex and head on out there myself.
If you've
Let's
ever
go.
been
All there.
watching a Laser Everything video and you're like, man, this is a really cool concept, but it would be a lot more entertaining if somebody did it. That means Michael's channel is for you.
Yep.
Michael is the application, we're the theory. So definitely hit up Laser Engraving 911 if you haven't already.
And you
And,
can meet us in
thanks for-
Tulsa, the Vegas of Oklahoma.
Nope.
The Vegas of
We're not.
Las
Oklahoma.
Vegas of Oklahoma. My God, that sounds great, boys.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today for another
Thank you.
episode of the Laser Source Podcast. I really appreciate you. Please smash the like button on your way out the door. One more time, don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Night, fellas.
Bye,
Night,
everybody.
Later.
Later.
Night.